New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. A gunman who opened fire on a lawn mowing crew and officers held authorities at bay for almost 4 hours Friday before he surrendered to police. The man was arrested without incident at about 12:20 p.m. and no injuries were reported. Fort Worth police did not release the name of the suspect. The man had opened fire on officers and mowers who were sent to his home to enforce a code compliance because the grass was too tall. Officers and SWAT team members responded to the scene on the 4800 block of Cedar Spring Drive in far north Fort Worth. Code compliance officers who had a warrant knocked on the door at the residence at about 8:30 a.m. After several attempts to get someone to answer the door, workers from the independent lawn mowing company began working on cutting the grass. Moments after they started, a man inside the residence opened fire from the front window and began shooting at both the mowers, code compliance officers, and the police. Suspect, Chris Morgan, age 30, who has lived in the neighborhood for about a year. The man who lives in the house has had conflict with homeowners association for a while because he didn't want to cut his grass. A resident of the neighborhood stated, quote, "This is the craziest thing that I've ever seen in this neighborhood in a year since I moved here. The only other thing I've seen were some kids fighting on the corner. It's usually pretty quiet. It was really odd to see police in riot gear running down the street in front of my house. Guys in suits with guns. It was strange." Look at this right here. One of the main things that I've always stated is that all of the chaos, right, that is taking place in America, all of the hatred and the discrimination, all of that negative energy, right, will soon enough come back down onto the people who originally sit that energy out. And soon enough, those same exact people are going to not only end up harming themselves, but also harming the people who look exactly like them. This is what chaos looks like. You have somebody, right, who decided that they didn't want to cut their grass. And they know that they live in the suburbs, nice homes and all of that other stuff. So there's laws and there's ordinances, right, that you have to follow by way of the homeowners association or, by the city council, whoever, right? So he decided that, yo, I'm not cutting my grass, or I'll cut it whenever I want to. He wanted to get mad and was like, "Hey, you shouldn't be on my property. Hey, you shouldn't be cutting my grass. Let me just go and show you what I mean by get off my property, stop cutting my grass." Literally got to the point where they had to shoot tear gas into the house where he was shooting out of in order to get him to vacate the residence. And once he vacated the residence, that's when police decided that, all right, enough is enough. It's all done with fun and games. Ha ha, bang, bang, shoot him up. You got us. And they just arrested him with no problem. There were no dogs. They didn't harm him. They didn't maim him. They didn't taser him. They didn't pepper spray him. They didn't try to barge in through the house by using the tank. There's a multitude of different things that they could have done. They could have even had a canine just go through there, right? Several. But they didn't do any of that because they wanted to make sure that they were not going to harm one of their own. This is what I mean by a bias that takes place when it comes to police and their training. They're trained not to, take the lives of their own people, of people who look exactly like them, people who are part of their community. But they're trained to demonize and criminalize and have that image of black men in their mind so as to cause some type of fear and anxiousness, which will then lead them to that fight or flight response, which then will lead them to have that itchy trigger finger, which then leads to them looking to have these types of interactions because this is what they were trained to do, right? They're bloodthirsty. They're looking for that itch. They're looking for that fix, right? They're looking for that adrenaline rush. And when they can't just so happen to get that adrenaline rush, they'll happen to take a lot of, narcotics or prescriptions in order to keep up that type of high that they're so fixed on, right? This is why you have a lot of those cops deciding that they want to take the lives of young boys, young black boys, and young black men, basically taking them directly off of the board and then leaving, a lot of these communities open to even more destruction and chaos that they see fit to basically throw in there because of the lack of protection that is there by way of the system that has been sent out in order to destroy black men. But like I said before, some people will see it, some people won't. But at the end of the day, this is the system that we live in, and this is exactly how they operate. They'll make sure to respect and not take the life, and they will make sure to try to talk down any and everybody who has a type of violence or chaos about them, right? Because they need to be studied, they need to be on prescriptions, they need to see somebody. They're just crying out for help. Versus if it's somebody who is African American, oh no, this is just how they are. They have a certain type of gene that makes them violent, right? And they're the only ones with this type of gene, right? Those are the type of things that true Americans like to believe in. They want to think that, black people are the utmost criminal minded and violent versus the whole entire planet, even though history speaks differently. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the story and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.